Hey, I'm Marc Stevens, author of Government Indicted. My website, of course, is marcstevens.net. The radio show is the No State Project, live every Saturday from 4 to 7 Eastern Standard Time on the Liberty Radio Network. That's LRN.FM. And I mentioned this. This is going to be one of the new success stories, which we always love to get here. But we don't just talk about success stories. I think maybe I can put train wrecks down here, but that nothing's going to satisfy the haters. Anyway, we talked with Mike briefly on Saturday. Weren't able to get him on the live broadcast, but I did promise that I would get a short video on his adventures in legal land. They're in Texas, so hopefully we get them on this live broadcast this coming Saturday. But go here. This is the actual document he sent me. It's an order of dismissal. So big congratulations to Mike for standing up to these psychopaths and not taking a deal, and especially not getting a lawyer. So, there's a big attaboy for doing this himself and not getting a lawyer. So I did help him with a motion to dismiss, which is primarily based on a lack of evidence. There's a lack of evidence proving the constitutional laws apply just because he's physically in Texas. There's a lack of evidence showing any kind of cause of action. So, he filed that. He met with the prosecutor. This is going back to October 9, 2014. Spoke with the prosecutor. The cop was not there, but he spoke with the prosecutor. And the prosecutor basically said that the judge routinely rejects motions like these, like the ones that basically if you're challenging the prosecutor's arguments and you want the facts the prosecutor's arguments are based on, well, then these traffic court judges routinely deny motions like that, because that's what prosecutors have done. The judges are former prosecutors most of the time, and they tend to carry the case, their burden. Well, relieving them of the burden is the correct way to put that. So the cop was not there initially. He told me that they had to wait over 2 hours for the cop to show up. And when the cop did show up, the prosecutor went to one of the conference rooms and spoke with the police officer for a little while. When they came out, the police officer left, and apparently when they went to see the judge, the prosecutor filed a motion to dismiss for insufficient evidence, which is basically what Mike filed. So on this day, the above entitled a numbered cause. Yeah, that's that cause. For failure to wear a seatbelt. What did that cause other than a antisocial parasite to go through his force continuum? What else did it cause? Oh, that's right, nothing. So there was no actual cause. That deceptive language there, and also like when a case dismissed, that's kind of deceptive. There was no case, but. He says the court having considered the motion. See, this is where, it could have been the motion that Mike filed, or it could have been the motion the prosecutor filed. Both of them were for the same thing, for insufficient evidence. And finding, case dismissed, insufficient evidence. Yeah, no kidding. And I can't make out this signature other than Kimberly Gamble. But it was dismissed for insufficient evidence. So big congratulations, of course, to our buddy Mike for standing up and not getting a lawyer and doing it himself and not taking a deal. And for those who would marginalize this, well, we really don't care. But I do this just. I address this just so someone who is an honest skeptic can make up their own mind. This will be marginalized that it was just traffic, and hey, it doesn't count as any kind of success because it's just traffic, and it's not a real court. So the municipal court in the city of Houston, it's not a real court. You would think that the haters would say, "Wow, they're using a force continuum and death warrants to get people in there. Maybe somebody should report this because to be doing things like that, and it's not a real court." Bottom line, it's still a real political court, and they are willing to kill you to get you into that building. Another thing that haters will say is, "Well, it's just traffic. You don't really raise serious issues in traffic," and they're like, yeah, you really do. We did. We are actually challenging the assumption, the argument that just because Mike is physically in Houston or physically in Texas, that the laws apply to him. That's a pretty big issue. They're willing to kill you because they believe that's true. So that's a big issue. So whatever code violation, it's always on a foundational lie or an argument or false argument that if you're physically in Texas, then the Constitution and laws apply to you. All of them. So we raise the same issues in a traffic than we would in a possession or a tax situation, let's say a felony, because it's all on the same foundation. The only difference is I don't accept, and Mike also, and a lot of people listen to the show, we are more adult in that we don't give the prosecutor a free pass or look at jurisdiction, the applicability of the sacred writ, the Constitution, the law. We don't accept that as a sacred cow or as a given, as other Texas prosecutors have actually told me. It's not a given. The prosecutor or anyone who files a complaint has got to prove jurisdiction. And we went through that in a number of other videos, so I'm not going to cover that again today. But you know what? If you're one of these critics, if you're one of these people who think that you can prove the Constitution, the laws apply to someone just because they're physically in Texas, hey, call the No State Project. We're live every Saturday from 4 to 7 Eastern Standard Time on the Liberty Radio Network. I'd be more than happy to give you as much time as necessary to floor us with your evidence and your logic proving that the Constitution and laws of, let's say, Canada apply just because you're physically in Canada. I love to hear it. But till then, congratulations to Mike, and thank you very much for sending me this. And my name is Marc Stevens. Website is marcstevens.net. Until next time, salud.